Since its humble beginnings, mountain biking has become a global phenomenon. To millions of cyclists, these bikes are more than a form of recreation. They're a way of life. The question of who actually invented the mountain bike is steeped in myth and legend, but certain facts are undeniable. It is widely accepted that the epicenter of the mountain bike movement was in Northern California's Marin County. Here, in the 1970s, a few dozen hardcore cyclists took to the hills in a collaborative effort that by the end of the decade would become the modern mountain bike. Their shared passion and obsessive tinkering led to the birth of a multi-billion-dollar industry, a form of recreation for the masses, and an Olympic sport. Some of these athletes were serious road racers with dreams of Olympic glory, while others were counterculture types. With little in common, except for their love of pre-World War II newsboy bicycles, these two tribes rode down the mountain that towered over the small towns where they grew up.
We had our own thing going on here.
For us, the mountain bike thing was freeing.
It was like flying.
It was this small group of riders who quite literally reinvented the wheel. Their innovations made some of them wealthy, some of them wise, and all of them proud to have made a meaningful contribution to society. They had no idea that they were creating a worldwide sensation.
It was this party out in the woods.
We started to evolve with adding gears and adding front brakes.
Super strong brakes, you know, stuff that you had total confidence in.
Later on, we put Schwinn-made strap-on cantilevers, and we put strap-on cantilevers in the front fork, so we had a little bit of a front brake.
Cantilever brakes were the way to go until somebody invented something a lot better, and of course now you can get hydraulic brakes and disc brakes. But
the only problem was not being able to pedal up the hills with the 1-speeds. It was pretty tough. So the 5-speed, 10-speed concept made it available to get into these areas, and that's when all the fun began.
You know, a multi-gear bike just totally made sense, you know, out of a fat tire bike. And to have something with ultra-wide gear ratios was the ticket.
And we went for a ride, and Gary, on his 50-pound bike, just rode away from the rest of us, you know, on this long climb. And we just go, wow, gotta have them.
Now it's on, and now everybody's coming into it. Shimano's making, better parts.
And the more conservative Europeans eventually got in the act themselves, but mainly after the Japanese had become the market leaders in off-road components and in many respects off-road bikes themselves.
Shimano GR XT meant respect for mountain biking. XT answered the call with a complete group. Rear derailleurs, shifters, front derailleurs, brake levers, all specifically designed to meet the needs of these new mountain bikes. Better mud clearance, more uniform shifting. This is where mountain biking takes off.
At first there was one, and then there were two. 3 chances to answer before I am through. 5-finger discount, 6 ways to be true. 7 deadly sins, and I got me 8. That's what you just said. Is the Beatles' number. Say that girl's a 10. 11, I played baseball. I wish I was 12 again.
As mountain biking grew in popularity, it searched for an identity. Festivals surrounding the mountain bike as a celebration of people coming together with one binding tie, the mountain bike. This new sport offered so much, and people flocked, finding their own version of what mountain biking meant.
My 17th year was in jail. My 18th year Vietnam. 19 was a bad year for this 20th century man. 21 I went at blackjack, catch 22, right here I am. It take 23 seconds, get to heaven in 24 hours, baby, who gives a damn?
In the late 80s and into the 90s, mountain bike racing hit big. It made the best into heroes, many of whom have found lifelong careers evolving around the sport they loved. exactly just happened?
Up to the mountain top. I climbed up to the mountain top. I climbed and I climbed and I climbed and I could not stop. I climbed and I climbed and I climbed and I could not stop. Julie, 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 Julie. I saw diamonds, I saw jewels. I saw diamonds, I saw jewels. I saw diamonds, I saw jewels.
25 years, mountain biking has evolved to a point that couldn't have been predicted. Where does mountain biking go from here? We can only guess. What we do know is that as mountain bikers continue to evolve and venture into uncharted territory, Shimano XT will continue to be there, developing products for modern-day mountain biking.
Boys rock.
Shimano XT, the original mountain bike group.
Up to the mountain top. I climbed up to the mountain top. I climbed and I climbed and I climbed and I could not stop.